host, Larry Lease. Today we're diving into the latest news surrounding the CW show The Batwoman. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this this episode. Visit poddex.com. Use promo code CinemaGold for 10% off. The Batwoman drama just does not seem to go away. Of course, Ruby Rose played Batwoman in season 1. I thought she was a good choice. I liked her. I liked her in the Arrowverse crossover stuff. But I gave the show a shot. I gave it a couple episodes. It wasn't for me. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world, but it just didn't work for me. So I kind of jumped off of that one. But their ratings were never all that great. And then, of course, all the off-season drama for those of you who may not know about this. Ruby Rose was unceremoniously departed. Whether she was asked to depart or whether she chose to depart is still unknown. CW then made the very odd decision to, instead of just recast the role, they decided to change the character. They said, let's just change the character altogether. Let's just say the character disappeared after one season. And then they brought in not only a new actress, but a new actress to play an entirely different role, and their ratings have kind of suffered for it. So there was that little bit of background drama. There was this little special that aired with Superman and Lois, by the way, a show that was much better than I thought it would be. At least the premiere episode was better than I thought it would be. But it's referring to this in CW during the Crisis thing. There was this iconic shot with that the CW version of Justice League is, and of course, considering how much they crap all those Superman, it's only fitting that the Superman's standing at the back in this picture because they had no respect for their character. Look, I would understand this if in canon they changed the story and they said their history was changed. And Batwoman, the Ruby Rose Batwoman, was never there. I would get that. I would understand that. But the character was there in that shot. That character played by that actress was there in that shot. And they just decided to jump in there and just Photoshop that sucker out. Just jump in there and just take her out. And I gotta say, it strikes me as a little odd. And I'm not the only one that struck as odd this comes to. According to Screen Rant, who wrote, it's unclear at this point why the CW would edit out Rose from that scene in Crisis on Infinite Earth, even if Kate's no longer in the franchise. It doesn't change the fact that Rose's character was still in the crossover, and that in that specific moment, whether or not it be due to legal reasons remains to be seen, but it'd be a possibility either way. It doesn't make it any less awkward to erase Rose's character, no matter what. They could have easily shown a different shot from the crossover, where Kate wasn't in it at all. It'd have been just as weird to edit out Melissa's Supergirl, David Harwood's Martian Manhunter, and Chris Williams' Black Lightning, just because those shows are ending this season. And I think they bring up a really good point there. Like, if you, for whatever reason, don't want to show Ruby Rose, then pick a different shot from Crisis that just didn't have her in it to specifically put in a shot that you purposely edit out of the shot. To me, seems like you are making a point. Because again, they could have picked any scene from Crisis that didn't have Ruby Rose and just did that. To me, it seems like they purposely went out of their way to tell the world the blank Ruby Rose. That's what it kind of seems like they were doing. They purposely picked a shot that had Ruby Rose in it so they could purposely and demonstrably show that we're taking her out of our image. And to me, that's very awkward now. I say this, I'm not a big Ruby Rose fan, I tried Batwoman, I couldn't watch it, didn't work for me. But this seems kind of petty. It seems kind of spiteful. And it kind of seems below them. And it was just an awkward choice. If there were legal reasons, then just use a different shot. I know this struck me, and I'm saying all this I'm not a fan of Batwoman, but it does strike me as a little odd. At the same time, it seems very small, very petty, and very spiteful. Quite frankly, the type of behavior that they, as a major network, and they, CW, they are a big network. They're not Netflix, but they're a major player. It's somebody like that. I'm sorry, you got to act a little bit of a higher standard. I think this is spiteful and petty. And I say that as somebody who doesn't give a crap about Ruby Rose or Batwoman, but this seems pretty petty. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Cinema Gold podcast. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at CinemaGold2. If you like our show, consider supporting us by buying us a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Thank you. Have a great day.